Yo, welcome back to another video. It's your boy Corey the Man. In this video, we got WWE return canceled, WWE logo return, Braun car accident, and more news. Before we get into it, I'm gonna mute my stuff. I've been watching some of my old videos. It's like a lot of noise in the background. I don't like that. We just want to watch the video. So let me do that. Let's get into it.
Here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including WWE taking a former AEW TNT champion. Is WWE bringing back the old scratch logo? When a WWE World Champion is retiring, is a new Raw GM incoming? Braun Strowman involved in a car accident, concern for Seth Rollins, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's do the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at WWE taking a former AEW TNT champion. Now, our top story today looks at how a major star from AEW is about to jump ship over to WWE. In perhaps the biggest jump between the two companies in recent memory, it's been widely reported that Powerhouse Hobbs is leaving AEW and is set to sign with WWE. Fightful Select offered a detailed report on the news which read, "Powerhouse Hobbs is on the move." Fightful Select Sean Rossap has learned that Hobbs' AEW contract is set to expire at midnight. As things stand, we're told that contract negotiations are being ongoing between the two sides, and AEW made him a substantial offer to remain with All Elite Wrestling. Hobbs finished up tonight at AEW Collision tapings after Dynamite. The report adds that WWE sources are claiming that Hobbs is signing with the promotion and he's contractually eligible to do this as of this week. WWE sources that Fightful Select spoke to claim that he's expected to join the company. He is contractually eligible to do so as of this week. WWE has maintained interest in him for quite some time and they believe he's headed there, barring some huge unforeseen change. It was added that AEW made Hobbs a huge offer and he's said to leave on good terms. This is a huge acquisition for WWE and it'll be interesting to see how Hobbs is presented. Hobbs has a ton of potential as a main event level attraction and debuting him on the SmackDown brand makes a ton of sense, especially due to the product expanding to 3 hours recently. One other option WWE has is to debut Hobbs on the NXT brand. NXT has a ton of their top stars moved over to the main roster, so debuting Hobbs on the brand will instantly establish him as a top guy within the promotion. Due to WWE being eligible to sign Hobbs, we can't rule out a Royal Rumble debut at the end of the month. Next up, a WWE veteran re-signs. Now, R-Truth was shockingly released from WWE last year, and this decision resulted in so much outrage from both fans and wrestlers alike that they were forced to bring Truth back into the fold. It's now been revealed by Truth himself just how long his new contract is, and according to the former US champion during an interview with TV Insider, he has signed a new 4-year contract with the company. "I signed a 4-year deal with a 3-year option. Again, that's one of the things with the wrestling business. You're gonna have people that speculate and insinuate and throw things out there, but I don't know the backstory behind the story and truth of it. It's the same as Unreal. People are not gonna know the exact truth of it, but you're still gonna have people on the outside going to give it their truth version or take on it." The way Triple H handled Truth's rehiring was heavily criticized, mainly because the game implied that Truth's initial release was work. This was completely incorrect, and even Truth and his own son had to call out Triple H for saying this. Next up, the final match for a WWE veteran revealed. Speaking of R-Truth, during an interview with TV Insider, he also revealed who he wants his final match to be against, and it's none other than The Miz. The Miz. I have a story with The Miz. I have an outside the ring story with The Miz. I have a relatable story with The Miz. The history. I remember when he first came here from the real world. He is so underrated. The things I could do with him. I will have that with The Miz. Now, The Miz vs Truth as Truth's final match is a logical fit, especially due to The Miz being an integral part of Truth's WWE career. Next up, when is a WWE World Champion retiring? Retirement is the talk of the wrestling world right now, as names such as AJ Styles, Brock Lesnar, and even possibly Chris Jericho are all reportedly retiring this year. One WWE name that has now addressed his retirement plans is the current world champion CM Punk, and he spoke with Cinema Blend to reveal that he plans on wrestling until he's 50. When I was 15, if you asked me if I'd be wrestling when I was 40, I would tell you no, that's crazy. 40 is so old. I'm 47 and I don't feel old yet. Terry Funk wrestled for a long time. Ric Flair wrestled for a long time. I mean, there's luchadors that are in their like 70s that are still doing it. Do I want to be that? Probably not. I would estimate probably the big 50s is when I should maybe gracefully bow out. Knock on wood if nothing else horrible happens. Although Punk has certainly slowed down in the ring as he's gotten older, he's still been able to perform at a high level, and WWE evidently trusts his work enough to have him as the reigning world champion. And the good thing for Punk is that WWE live events have been so vastly reduced, so the days of him wrestling 200 plus dates a year are long gone. This means that Punk can look after his body and preserve a lot of his energy for the big PLE matches. Next up, has a Chris Jericho return been scrapped? Now, there are rumors online that Chris Jericho's WWE return could have been scrapped or at the very least postponed. It turns out that throughout the month of February, Jericho is set to tour the UK with Fozzy. This is worth noting because if Jericho returns at the Royal Rumble, this means he won't be seen on WWE programming again for another month. This doesn't necessarily mean that Jericho won't be returning, but it would be extremely odd if Jericho returned then disappeared completely again. Not that that hasn't happened with AJ Lee. There's now speculation that Jericho could return at the Elimination Chamber in Chicago on February 28th. Jericho would have finished his UK tour by this date, and the interesting thing about this event is Chicago is the same city where Jericho made his WWE debut back in 1999. Jericho returning at the Chamber as opposed to the Rumble may be ultimately a smarter booking move from WWE. Let's face it, the Rumble is going to be stacked with stars this year, with names such as Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes all likely to be involved. They do need to be concerned about Jericho potentially being overshadowed on the PLE, and there's very little chance of that happening on a show such as Elimination Chamber. Next up, a WWE exec shoots on the streak ending. A WWE executive, Bruce Pritchard, appeared on The Undertaker's podcast this week, and Pritchard specifically discussed the decision to end the Dead Man's WrestleMania streak. Speaking to The Undertaker directly, Pritchard stated that he wishes that the Dead Man never agreed to end his streak. I wish you wouldn't have done that, but you have your reasons. It was like watching a baby grow. I thought he should have stayed pure forever. The streak ending is one of the most contested WWE booking finishes of all time. Pritchard likely isn't the only WWE exec that feels this way. Next up is a new Raw GM incoming. Could WWE be about to appoint a new Raw general manager? One of the top stories on Raw right now relates to Adam Pearce and Braun Breaker. This week on the show, Pearce would suspend Breaker after Breaker put his hands on him. However, Paul Heyman quite rightly pointed out that Pearce put his hands on Breaker first. Now, in the latest development, Heyman is now claiming on Logan Paul's YouTube vlog that Pearce is going to be suspended from his position. What does this mean exactly? Well, it could mean that Pearce no longer runs Raw and kayfabe for a month or so we could see a temporary GM inserted into the position. This would likely be decided by the WWE TKO board of directors, and WWE could even have guest GMs take on the role for the next few weeks. There's been speculation all week that they are building towards a Pearce vs Breaker matchup, and if Heyman is correct and Pearce is indeed suspended, then this certainly fuels speculation that a matchup is actually planned. Next up, Braun Strowman involved in a car accident. A former WWE star, Braun Strowman, was involved in a minor car accident while taking one of his recently finished custom project vehicles out for a test drive yesterday. The car was a customized '94 Honda Civic that Strowman had just completed, but during the outing another driver rear-ended him, leaving visible damage on the car. Strowman did post a video on Instagram showing the aftermath and reassuring fans that he was okay, though he did mention that he did have a sore neck from the collision. In his message, he did express relief that the accident wasn't more serious and emphasized that the cars can be repaired, but people's safety is what matters most. We're glad that Strowman is okay in this accident and that no other people were hurt. Next up is WWE bringing back the old logo. Logan Paul's vlog has social media buzzing, as in the vlog he was doing some type of promotional campaign for WWE 2K26, and it was interesting because WWE were using the classic Scratch logo instead of the new modern day logo. This could mean that WWE are planning a classic Ruthless Aggression era showcase mode for the upcoming installment. This would be extremely popular amongst fans, but WWE would be unable to use Edge due to him being an AEW contracted talent. That's unless they could reach an agreement with AEW, which is unlikely at this stage. Another theory is that WWE is delivering a CM Punk showcase mode, and due to Punk debuting when the logo was in use, they're going with that logo to promote the mode. Punk is one of the names that is heavily rumored to be on the cover star for the game itself, and if he's revealed as the cover star, then the showcase mode for his career is the most likely option. And finally, concern for Seth Rollins. Now, our final story today looks at the WWE future of Seth Rollins. The former world champion is currently out of action with an injury, but it surfaced thanks to Rollins' interview with Complex that Rollins was working hurt throughout 2025 and the injured body part was his neck. The chronic ones are worse for me. Like last year, my neck was destroying me. That was really bad. The chronic wear and tear injuries that finally start to catch up to you, that's the most painful stuff, I would say. This is obviously a concern, as we've seen time and time again wrestlers being forced to retire due to complications when it comes to neck-related issues. Rollins would add that his neck problems were so severe that he couldn't go 30 seconds without fidgeting. During the summer last year, I couldn't go 30 seconds without fidgeting. I was always trying to get into a different position, and to jam my thumb into my neck, it was not fun. Then I'd still have to go to work and wrestle and try to be normal. The worst part was when your daughter wants to play and you're like, Daddy just needs a minute. Rollins is currently out of action with a torn rotator cuff, and his latest rumored return date is around April, but it's unknown if the talented star will be back in time for WrestleMania 42. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.
Thank y'all for watching. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. We out of here.